First, we bring in my great friend Jesse Watters, co-host of The Five and host of Jesse Watters Primetime. I think it starts on Monday, is that right?
Yeah, the 24th, Larry.
All right, first of all, 1,000 congratulations.
Thank you.
Nobody deserves it more than you do. Jesse, I want to continue this law and order conversation, but you've been covering the story of the Dallas synagogue in Texas, and I want to ask you, with all that's gone on there, how did this terrorist, and he came through, I just learned this, he came from Britain to JFK to Dallas. So he went right by the TSA, apparently. How did he get into the country in the first place? That's one little question I have for you.
We gave him a visa, Larry. Mayorkas, Department of Homeland Security, is in charge of passing out these special visas. He applied for one, and we gave it to him, but we shouldn't have, because in order to get this special visa, you can't have a criminal record. But this loon in the UK had a criminal record. He threatened people with a knife, a bat, maybe a cricket paddle. He was banished from one town, and he was a bad dude. Everybody knew in the UK he was a bad dude, but he applies. Mayorkas stamped him through, and the next thing you know, he's down in Dallas buying a hot gun off the street and taking Jews hostage. Do you think Joe Biden knows that, though? Do you think Joe Biden tomorrow, when he gives his little news conference at 4 o'clock, if he's asked that question, why do we let this kook into the country? Do you think he's going to know that Joe Biden's, his own people gave this guy a visa? He's not going to even know that.
Has he said anything about it, Chess?
He's barely said a thing. And has he even called Boris? I mean, listen, if an American guy, crazy guy, flew to London and started holding people hostage, you don't think we'd be on the phone? They'd be on the phone with us. Hey, what happened? There's a special relationship. We can't just be letting our guys get visas and go over there and hold each other's people hostage.
Where's the FBI in this?
Well, at first they said this had nothing to do with Judaism. They kind of tried to blame Trump supporters, right?
What?
They
Really?
tried to say, you know what? We're not gonna close all leads. This is an open investigation. It could be anything. Anything is possible, because that's their real domestic threat.
Was this guy a Trump supporter? What, I don't understand. They're blaming Trump.
No,
even Biden.
Obviously, it's a jihadist.
Right.
Obviously, there's a Jewish angle to it, all right? But by saying that there's nothing radical Islam involved, that this is an open investigation, we don't want to close any doors, it kind of leaves open the impression that, hey, you know what? Maybe white supremacy is to blame, Larry, because that's what they're focused on. The FBI is focused on domestic white supremacy, and they're not focused on jihadism. They're not focused on the southern border. They're not focused on transnational threats, the cartels. They're not focused on any of that. They're focused on framing innocent Trump supporters for political violence. That's their agenda now.
I thought this guy, first of all, his name is Akram. He's allegedly tied to ISIS and Al-Qaeda. But I thought he was yelling out something about free Lady Al-Qaeda, free Lady. I don't know what that means, but it's clear. I don't think he voted for Trump.
No.
I think even, as Merrick Garland, our Attorney General, does he think he voted for Trump? Have we heard from him?
If this guy was a parent in Virginia,
oh, God.
Merrick Garland would be all over this.
Domestic terror.
But they haven't said a word. There hasn't been a news conference, no press conference, and we'll see if Joe Biden has any clue about what happened tomorrow.
And the Jewish people in synagogues somehow survived. They're okay. So that part is miraculously okay. And the crazy guy was taken down, right? He was shot. So that part is okay. The questions I have about this is, it's a bit of a reach, but follow me here, because I am infuriated. As a longtime New Yorker, I am infuriated at what's going on with what I call no bail, no jail, this guy Bragg. His prosecutors, his own people are walking out at him. It's true all across the country. Law and order in the Biden left progressive era has suffered enormously, okay? These things are happening all over the place. People are getting pushed off subways. People are getting killed. People are looting stores. Now, this is a little different, this synagogue story. But to some extent, Jesse, in my own head, my instinct is it's not altogether different. We're not cracking down on the right people. We're not following through on the right leads. We're not undergoing good, solid police work to keep people safe.
So if you're Joe Biden, you get polling every day. It's what they do. There's a political unit in the White House. They'll hand you a sheet of paper. This is what you're doing well. This is what they hate that you're doing. And I can't imagine over the last 6 months, he hasn't gotten a few polling sheets that say, crime is killing you, Mr. President. So he knows crime is hurting his standing. Forget about the fact that people are dying. People are getting raped and mugged and their cars are getting jacked. Just as a politician, he should just be able to get on the horn with Gascon, Bragg, these lunatics, Krasner and Philly.
And scream at them.
And say, get it together, guys. This is a disaster. Politically, for me, it's a disaster for the Democratic Party. They're never going to trust us again on law and order. Remember how they booted foreign policy and no one trusted the Democrats to run foreign policy? They had 2 terms of Reagan. They had Bush after that because the country was scared. They didn't want to put the Democrats in charge after Carter. We're Carterizing the Democratic Party now.
Good point.
People don't trust the Democrats to manage cities, to manage the border, to manage the dollar, the Treasury. We don't trust them anymore, and we just want simple, competent management. And there's a huge opening for the Republican Party to just take the mantle of competent leadership, get in, make planes take off on time, control the border, don't stamp visas for radical hostage takers. That's all they need to do. It's a layup.
And enter Virginia Governor Youngkin and his new Attorney General, because they're doing it in 48 hours, 72 hours. I mean, hardly the ink is dry on his inauguration. It's like a whole new idea. Law and order, culpability, accountability, transparency, actually firing people, firing the Virginia Parole Board. I love that. Firing them.
Clean house.
Yes, cleaning house because they did it wrong. I mean, this is a new era. I don't know if the Democrats understand how profound this is, the contrast between this jerk Bragg in New York and Mr. Youngkin and Mr. Mayeris, who's coming on the show. The contrast couldn't be bigger.
It's a great contrast,
It's a turning point.
and that's what wins elections. You remember when Biden gets in there, first day in office, he sits at the desk and they just start handing him executive orders, and he just signs. He doesn't know what he's signing, but they had a plan. And they started firing all these people from everybody that Trump appointed. They just started clearing house, and they just started signing executive orders. At least they had a plan. Youngkin comes in. He's got a plan. He has a vision. He's made a decision, and he executes. And that's what people want. They put you in there to execute the plan that you campaigned on.
And, you know, I can't resist. After all, we're an economics show. I'm a supply sider. Law and order is like a tax cut. Law and order helps business, helps people live there, helps their kids live there. This is a conversation I had, I don't know, close to 35 years ago with Rudy Giuliani when he became mayor of New York and reestablished law and order. It's just like cutting taxes. The businesses will open, the people will go back, and the cities will flourish. And Youngkin's going to prove that, and Lord, do we need that example. Jesse Watters, I can't wait to see your new show.
Thank you, Larry.
I can't
we'll
wait
have
to
you
see
on.
your new show. So this is all Jesse now. This is Jesse's. I remember that. I'll never forget how wonderful that stuff was.
I'm Watters, and this is my world. There you go.
Good luck, buddy.